In this lecture, we'll talk about adding data to a table. Earlier, when we added our first few tasks into the Best Hospital Task Management Database, we used the interface provided by the database template. We now know that we were actually making use of a form object and that the data is really being stored in a table behind the scenes. I can tell you that we were using forms by taking a quick look at the icon up here on the tab. You can see that this icon matches the icons of the different objects in the database over here in the navigation pane. In fact, the entire interaction with the database at this point has been entirely through form objects. We haven't seen a single table at all, but since the data is being saved, we know that some tables must exist in the background. In fact, there are 4 tables in this database: contacts, filters, settings, and tasks. If we double-click on the task table here in the navigation pane, it'll open up its own tab, and we can see the raw structure of the original data table here. Here I can see the single records that we've entered in previously and the names of the fields of the attributes that apply to these different records. Notice that there isn't any additional fluff though, no colors, no buttons, no additional ways to interact with the database. Tables are purely a data storage mechanism. That said, there's nothing that prevents us from entering records directly into a table. Let's go ahead and add another task for Chris while we're here filling out some details on the line that says new. So I'll go ahead and say new. I'll click in the title and I'll just say review, final review. And as you notice, as I started updating this record, there's a pencil there. And that pencil icon is an indication that the record is being updated. And I'll just tab over. And as I said, I was going to assign it to Chris. There's a calendar icon, so I can change the date to sometime in the month of June. Maybe I want this completed by the 30th. And I'll also have a completion date by June 30th. It should only take a day to do everything. So as you notice, as I click off that record, the pencil goes away and I can simply go ahead and add a new record. So another thing I want to talk about is deleting a record. Now, if you want to delete a record, you go over here in the gray and you click, and you simply click the delete on your keyboard. I'll go ahead and do that. Notice where I get a dialog box that says you are about to delete one record. And are you sure you want to delete this record? I'll go ahead and click yes. And notice that record has been deleted from my database. Now, as soon as you enter a transaction, it is saved to the table. The only time you need to think about saving your database file is when you make a change or when you're creating or modifying an object in the database. These types of changes to the structure of the database require an explicit save, but regular edits to the data never do. Now, if you decide that you want to continue, you can continue on by going to the new and adding additional records as needed. So, as you can see, there's no problem entering data directly into a table, but I think you agree that it's a much less user-friendly approach. First of all, I have to remember the name of the table and find it over here in the navigation pane. Next, I don't have the same sort of descriptive help or labels to help me feel as confident that the data is being entered correctly as I do when I'm on the form object. And finally, when I'm done, there's no indication of what I should do next. All of these concerns were addressed by moving this type of data entry task into a form where the interaction can be designed in a more user-friendly way.